Cambodia, a beautiful country enhanced through the smile of its gentle people. A home to the ancient city of Angkor Wat, a city that lives on today through its cultural heritage and religious tradition. The Cambodians are a humble and peaceful people who live with a violent past. A past where over 2 million of their fellow countrymen fell victim to torture, genocide, and death under the reign of Pol Pot's regime. Scarred by this brutality, the country has yet to recover from it. With its primary staple of rice and fish, the people of this country are literally starving.
A lot of children, probably half of the children in Cambodia, are malnourished.
Amidst these hard circumstances, the land of the gentle smile still remains inside the hearts of its people. Visitors to the country see a modest people whose lives are not based on what little they have or don't have, but rather they see a people who live richly with jewels of lasting memories and relationships they have with one another. But perhaps the country's most precious jewels can be found within the hearts of its children. Children whose expressions of joy, love, and laughter melt the hearts of all who visit. Children who have so little by our own standards, but give so much in return for a simple smile. So a question is brought to mind. Why Cambodia? Why now? It's because 3 cultures saw the need of a land in greater need than their own. Uniting together, they were not only fulfilling Christ's Great Commission of taking his life-saving message into the world, but also beckoning the questions of themselves of, do I really love my brother? Do I have compassion for those who have less than me? Or do I just simply pity the poor? For this group of believers, what is stated in 1 John 3:17 takes on new meaning. If anyone has material blessings and sees his brother in need, but has no pity on him, how can the love of God be in him? From this, it is gathered that compassion requires action, or it's simply empty words. So this is where we'll begin our story. A story about 4 cultures uniting together for the purpose of one kingdom of God, all experienced on the amazing mission. The amazing mission begins here, at a little church constructed of meager palm-leafed walls, dirt floors, and a tin roof. In a country where temperatures soar and humidity often reaches 100%, the church is less than adequate. The condition of this building is why the group has come, or why they believe they have come. The group hopes that during the next couple of weeks, they'll give the Cambodians a hefty start in completing a new brick church within a 3-month time period. However, many obstacles lie ahead as they begin construction. The staggering heat causes many to become exhausted. But even more threatening to the project is the lack of even the most basic of modern resources. A simple wheelbarrow or tin bucket would be a luxury item in this poverty-stricken country. Instead, the work is done by carrying palm-woven baskets filled with heavy rock and dirt. Instead of a faucet, water can only be accessed by a manually pumped well. Also, the dirt of Cambodia is extremely dry, making it seem as if the entire country is built upon solid rock. As the group continues their struggles, they notice heart-wrenching images, such as one of their Cambodian brothers digging through the hard ground without shoes. Another challenge that the group faces is that out of approximately 50 people on the work site, not one person speaks all 4 languages. All of these struggles, however, are overcome through the bonds of love. For the Bible teaches that God's love for His people transcends all things, even language differences, cultural boundaries, and limited resources.
The focus of these trips is working together so we can develop relationships. We're not going to take buildings to heaven, we're going to take relationships to heaven.
What makes this amazing mission is not only the mere fact that there are 4 cultures working together, but for the first time, the group met with 4 different churches. The first of these visits began on a hot afternoon, with the group walking for an hour across dry rice fields.
As we approached across the rice field, you could see all the children from the village all lined up at the edge of the village waiting for us. And as we drew near, part of them came out to greet us, and part of them ran back into the village to tell the others that we had arrived.
Passing the children, the group was astonished to find a tiny church tucked away amongst the brush. The experience the group received at this church was similar to what they would experience at each of the Cambodian churches. They were always greeted with warm smiles, solemn bows, and open hearts. They were served as honored guests with the best each church could offer. For some, that meant coconut milk, palm juice, or specially prepared rice cakes.
They give us so much, and they have nothing around them. They don't ever eat with us. They never eat the same thing, but they give us everything they have.
Even as the group was finishing up their meals, they were inspired by the angelic-like singing from the jewels of Cambodia, its children. As the children finished their songs, the group was given its turn to bless the Cambodian people. Each culture was asked to present songs of worship in their native tongue. Leaving the Cambodians with a little taste of each culture, the group was then able to bestow possibly their greatest blessing, the blessing of Vacation Bible School. For many, this experience is the highlight of the amazing mission. What makes this event so special is that the group is able to bring a little love, joy, and laughter to the incredibly difficult life of the Cambodian children. These children have less than many can imagine. Few have the basic necessities such as sufficient clothes or shoes. Some use a bread pan as a float toy. Some use a dirty mud hole as a luxurious swimming pool. Others are forced to work from a young age. Some are forced to beg. Some have little hope. Others have no hope at all.
Emotionally, the kids are always something that pulls at my heart, to see the little faces and how happy it is to give them a smile or a hug, and especially this trip, the little girl with AIDS has just really pulled on me to see through her sickness, and even though she's not in great health, her just happiness to be with us.
Being amongst these devastating circumstances, though only for a short period, makes seeing and hearing the sounds of childish laughter even more special. And perhaps there was no place where laughter was more prevalent than during Vacation Bible School.
When the children were waiting for the puppets to come out, they didn't even know what the puppets were. They had to be taught the word for puppets. And when the puppets popped up above that curtain, every child's eyes just got so big they just couldn't believe what they were seeing, and the look of wonder on their face and joy, and just seeing how happy they were to see those little puppets dancing up there was awesome.
Along with seeing puppets for the first time, the children were also engaged in a variety of other activities such as singing worship songs, building simple crafts, or becoming the subject of crafts themselves. It's impossible for one to come to a place like Cambodia and leave unaffected by its children. Jesus said, "Do not hinder the little children, but permit them to come unto me. For no one shall enter the kingdom of heaven unless he becomes as one of these." For many in this group, their fondest memories of Cambodia will be of its children.
子供と遊んでいる時に本当に子供のピュアな顔、すごいピュアな笑顔がすごい印象に残っています。
The warmth of their smile is something that will stay in my heart forever.
As touched as the group was by the children, their families provided additional blessings. Towards the end of the mission, several of the Cambodian families invited the team members to join them for a meal. They were taken by whatever means necessary through the rough Cambodian terrain. Arriving at the homes, the team members are treated as guests of honor. The Cambodians bring out their best yet scarce furnishings to provide the group with what little comfort they can.
It's totally different. I could say their house would be like a nicer type of toy house.
Yo estaba sorprendida de cómo yo vivo y de ver sus casas donde viven. Por un momento estaba pensando que el Señor nos ha bendecido demasiado.
During this visit, the only communication that's established is done through a series of heartfelt smiles, the sharing of photos, and drawing pictures in the sand. When the meal is served, the team members will eat while many of the Cambodians watch on.
Los recipientes del amor, del cariño, de la amistad, de la gente de Camboya fue algo muy especial para nosotros. Creo que es algo que voy a llevar toda la vida en mi corazón.
As it comes time for the group to part with their newfound friends, a variety of emotions fill their hearts and minds. For many, the images they've witnessed, the experiences they've had, and the relationships they've built over the last month will remain with them forever.
One of the pastor's wives here every day has given me a gift. She gave me this little clip that's right here. One day, yesterday, she gave me a box with 2 blouses in the box. And to receive from somebody who doesn't have anything is so humbling.
I was eating a piece of fruit that was given to me by one of the Cambodian ladies, and I just ate it and spit the seed out. And a little while later, a lady came along and was gathering up the seeds and putting them in her pocket, a Cambodian lady. Those are the kind of stories I think that really communicate to people what is going on in the third world.
貧しさに関しては本当に比べようがないくらいに貧しいと思いました。
When I see a poor person who is so excited about God's blessing and will cry out how good God has been to them and they have absolutely nothing, That's the peace of God that passes all understanding.
You can't help but be impacted and your value system to be challenged when you see people living at this level of poverty.
One thing that's hard every year is we leave here and we go back to our homes, our beds, our four walls of comfort that are very sheltering, and they walk back with no shoes and barely any clothes back to their shacks that they stay in for the rest of their lives.
Yo vine más a aprender que a enseñar. Y claro, nuestra mente era venir a servir, pero yo creo que aprendí más que la humildad de mis hermanos camboyanos que otra cosa.
They've definitely changed my life. Just being able to play with the kids and build relationships. I thought I was coming to Cambodia to build a church, but that's not what it's been about.
I think I would like to live with a lot less. The things that I thought were very important, they're really not. I think building a relationship is more important.
Nobody's going to leave these places thinking how many bricks I put on a building. They're going to remember the lives that they have touched and the people they have influenced and the people who have influenced them more than anything.
As the team rides away, they remember how they had come to Cambodia to become more like Jesus. But since the day they arrived, they had continually met Jesus in the face of their Cambodian brothers and sisters. For it is written, "I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me."
I think I've come to realize that the love of Jesus is right here. And loving one another is how we can best love Jesus.